Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about a vast majority of cryptocurrencies, including of course HBAR, XRP, XLM, and possibly even a few others. We are going to be addressing this pilot CBDC project with the Reserve Bank of Australia. I did talk about it briefly with Hedera because Hedera has been a spotlighted project within this. They were really kind of working on a few things around like construction payments with CBDCs. Pretty interesting stuff. Now, recently this got brought up because again, we have been talking about this project for a little bit of time. This is actually a big one. Again, a lot of these are pilot programs. I want you guys to realize that there's going to be a lot of pilot programs, a lot of trials, things like that. Even going back to like 2016, there was proof of concepts with the Bank of England with Ripple, for an example. And I really do think that everyone should be focused on these simply because it is kind of confirmed at this point that crypto, blockchain, DLT, whatever you want to call it, has truly immersed itself in the world of traditional finance. And I think that this is very exciting because it's really kind of starting to branch out beyond the means of this kind of niche cliche audience that has been like really kind of focused on it being the alternative to the traditional world. But now we are starting to see the traditional world embracing the technology, realizing the benefits, and saying, okay, this has some legs. Let's see if it can run, right? Now, of course, with that, we have a few quotes here. And I did include these two quotes in the HBAR video, but I do want to bring them into this video just to really kind of talk to you guys about where we are really kind of headed. And we do see from the regional head of emerging technology, this is APAC, we do see it is exciting to see implementation of digital asset solutions to real world pain points through the RBA CBDC pilot. In this use case, tokenization and automation promote higher levels of trust within the supply chain. These same concepts have broad application across different industry sectors and their associated legal frameworks. And we do see from Rob Allen, who is the executive director of the Hashgraph Association. This is, of course, with Hedera. This inspiring CBDC collateralized stablecoin project demonstrated well how a public DLT or DLN, in this case, such as Hedera, can be utilized for delivering solutions to real-world use cases or problems. The speed of delivery and quality of the solution is a testament to the professionalism of the not centralized team that we're building on Hedera. Now, with that in mind, this got posted back in July. It was July 26th. We know that Australia was working on CBDCs back in March. We were really kind of watching this emerge, if you will. This was back in March of this year. This was the pilot confirmation. The projects will take part in the country's central bank digital currency pilot, expected to wrap up later this year. And that's when we first got this. Now, this just recently got posted by Crypto Eddie over on Twitter. She did say Reserve Bank of Australia unveiled ETH-based CBDC pilot, atomic settlement and tokenized money. Pilot aimed for programmable payments. $550,000 was distributed and repurchased. The former individual from Ripple was there. Directed Hedera participated. Ripple, Binance, JPM contributed. Stellar org stablecoin was used. So again, there has been a lot of FUD going around, and I honestly don't really understand it, to be honest with you, because it just doesn't make sense. A lot of people have been hating on the idea that anything that is not Ripple and XRP basically is just dead to them. They think that it's just going to be XRP. And listen, you guys know me. I love XRP. I love everything that Ripple is doing as a company. I love what they're doing with XRP as a digital currency. I love how they are embracing this technology and really kind of opening the doors of opportunities to those in the traditional world as well, really kind of bridging these two worlds. That's how I look at Ripple, right? Like Ripple's one of those companies that has embraced crypto for what it is and tried to really kind of, market it to the traditional giants. And so far they have been doing a very good job at that. And here we have an image around this. So this is CBDC features and capabilities, claim on the central bank, direct control, programmability, atomic settlement, transparency. Now, like I said, it's not just going to be one player. Collaboration is crucial, and I think that this really kind of solidifies that. I mean, we have Hedera here, we have Ripple, we have Stellar. And if we even look at this project, like I said, this project has been a long time coming. Now, we do see ex-Ripple executive to lead Australia's CBDC project. This was September of 2022. Like I said, this goes back quite a bit of time. Now, of course, they do mention XRP. They mention, Ripple itself, because Rayo, who is the one leading this, contributed to Ripple's XRP ledger. Now, with that in mind, we do see that when we look down here, that this is a platform that will be implemented on a private permission instance of Ethereum. This is very similar to what's happening around the XRP ledger. There is a private XRP ledger basis. By the way, Rayo also believes that the XRP ledger-based real-time settlement system can be used in CBDCs. That's how I look at XRP. I look at XRP as a bridge currency for a lot of these CBDCs. Like, as we do see more and more digital currencies and tokenized assets coming, I think that we need more decentralized bridges. And I think that that's going to be a crucial thing to really kind of look at. XRP could very well be one of those tokens. It's not going to be the only token, in my opinion, but Ripple has been really kind of positioning XRP as a bridge currency for a lot of the CBDCs that are launching on Ripple's platform. But this is a wholesale pilot. That's basically all this is. But the significance of the players tied to this, for example, a major organization that's around this is the DFCRC. This is bringing together a unique group of stakeholders in fintech industry research and regulation to develop and capitalize on the huge commercial opportunities arising from the next transformation of the financial markets, the universal digitization of all assets, so they can be traded and exchanged directly and in real time between any individual or organization. A huge statement there by a very large group. By the way, if you scroll down here, we can see an asset digitized financial world will lead to distributed global marketplaces operating 24/7 and exchanging digitized assets instantaneously. New capital supply chains driving producers and investors' profits through direct access to new market demand and competitive liquidity. Global competition for reliable and trusted investment environments underpinned by real-time algorithmic compliance and enforcement. Entirely new forms of economic activity and interaction. Again, we are seeing a digital transformation like no other. This is also why I say, like, a lot of these utility tokens, like, we have too many out there looking at XRP and saying, oh, well, this is on Ethereum. That means I should sell my XRP and go invest in Ethereum, right? Like, it makes zero sense on why we are looking at this space as competition. I even said it around Stellar and Ripple. I said, like, these two are going to be very complementary to each other. They have completely different viewpoints. And by the way, one of the individuals that are on the advisory committee for the DFCRC is Andrew Dyer. This is an individual that works with the BCG. That's right, the BCG, the same company that projected $16 trillion worth of value could be tokenized by 2030. And I do think that we could see that, especially with a lot of these initiatives that are behind the push and the acceleration towards this. But nonetheless, we did see that the Reserve Bank of Australia with the DFCRC was working on this pilot, this use case. And we even see that we are delighted with the enthusiastic engagement by industry in this important research project. It has also been encouraging that the use case providers that have been invited to participate in the pilot span a wide range of entities in the Australian financial system, from smaller fintechs to large financial institutions. The pilot and broader research study that will be conducted in parallel will serve two ends. It will contribute to hands-on learning by industry, and it will add to policymakers' understanding of how a CBDC could potentially benefit the Australian financial system and economy. And of course, we do see from Dilip Rayo, like I said, this is the ex-Ripple employee. He said the variety of use cases proposed covers a range of problems that could potentially be addressed by CBDCs, including some that involve the use of CBDC for atomic settlement of transactions in tokenized assets. The process of validating use cases with industry participants and regulators will inform further research into design considerations for a CBDC that could potentially play a role in a tokenized economy. And as we do scroll down, we can see those major providers here with the selected use cases. Now, I do have the report open over here. We're going to dive into it. I have a few areas that I want to go over, but first off, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the amount of money being disrupted by these initiatives. For an example, the ANZ Bank. So ANZ Bank has been working closely along with Hedera on some stablecoin initiatives, which I think should be mentioned. because they're looking at offline payments here, nature-based asset trading, superstream payments as well. The Australian Bond Exchange is working on corporate bond settlement. Canvas Digital is working on tokenized FX settlement. Tokenized FX settlement is huge because the FX market is a $7.5 trillion per day market. We also see the Commonwealth Bank working on GST automation. DigiCash is working on CBDC custodial models. We also see Fame Capital working on livestock auction. And of course, a few other ones as well. And then we also see MasterCard, which, by the way, MasterCard just recently really kind of worked with Hedera. And we do see interoperable CBDC for trusted Web3 commerce. And we also know that MasterCard is kind of tied back to Ripple as well. But the big one to really kind of look at here for Hedera is not centralized with construction payments. That's the one that Hedera has been really kind of tied back to. But nonetheless, I thought that this was significant to mention because those were the use cases involved. A few quotes here. So one, the executive summary. The payments landscape continues to evolve rapidly. This reflects significant changes in the payment preferences of households and firms. Alongside innovation and underlying technologies in this context, considerable research has been undertaken over recent years, both in Australia and other jurisdictions, into the potential role that a central bank digital currency could play in the payments landscape or in the system in the future. Now, they do mention a few things around this. They really kind of look at the project design itself, the use cases tied to it. Like I said, I already went over the use cases. They already talked a little bit about when this started to really kind of happen. And here is their use case findings. Enabling smarter payments, really kind of looking at payments themselves. They want to really kind of tokenize a lot of things around this in terms of like central bank reserves, even central bank money itself. And with this, right, like we also see payments, and what we would typically see with payments is failed transactions and things like that. What they want to do is they want to have complex transactions such as multi-party or multi-stage payments executing automatically and simultaneously, reducing the need for costly reconciliation processes and the risk of failed transactions. Ultimately speaking, they just want to have a lot more efficient payment flows and payment settlement transactions. So all of this is really kind of focused on alleviating the pain points around transactions. And they want to adopt DLT, they want to adopt blockchain and crypto technology, but they also want to benefit from it. That's why we are starting to see CBDC initiatives like the traditional giants of the world realize that this technology is here. It's here to stay. It will become a big deal. And listen, how can we get behind it? How can we benefit from it? Well, we have central bank digital currencies. That's basically all this really is, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. But we do know that DLT, blockchain, it will all be the major foundation that all of this is built upon. We even see like there was a significant interest from industry participants in exploring the tokenization of financial and other real assets on DLT platforms, with CBDC being used in the atomic settlement of transactions. Very interesting. And the major things mentioned here. So first off, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the company side to this. So very large players here. We obviously know that Hedera is here, down here. We also know that Ripple Labs is here. But you might be wondering, like, where the hell is Stellar? Well, Stellar is actually under the Navati stablecoin proof of reserve. This is where you could see Stellar being mentioned. Demonstrated the use of an HTLC to guarantee a stablecoin EAUDD, which is the Australian digital dollar, backed by Pilot CBDC minted on the Stellar blockchain. Now, what's interesting about this is that we know that going back in time to June, just recently, June 13th, Australian payments firm Navati expands its AUDD, the Australian digital dollar, stablecoin to the XRP ledger. Users will be able to access the Australian digital dollar via the XRP ledger-enabled wallets and use the stablecoin to make payments or trade other XRP ledger-based tokens. And again, we do know that even from here, that this was launched on the Stellar blockchain back in November of 2022. Definitely interesting. And we even see by deploying, by the way, this is the CEO of Navati, by deploying the Australian digital dollar on the XRP ledger, we will be able to capture the growing demand for digital currencies and create new revenue streams for our business, while delivering on our promise to make our solution available to multiple networks. Again, it's all about, decentralization and interoperability. As everyone looked at Ripple and XRP for years around like bridging all the money, it's just simply not the case. We don't want a closed loop system. We don't want just a monopoly system running on just one digital asset or one company. We want this to be an open, level playing field. How can we get there? Well, you bring in multiple initiatives. Now, with this major pilot around the CBDC in Australia, how long away is this, right? Like, when is this going to really happen? Well, we have no idea. It could be years away. It could be months away. We do know that over here from August 23rd, the report said that in a way, a CBDC could be viewed as an enabling complement to rather than substitute for private sector innovation. Australia CBDC likely some years away, central bank says. So it could be years away, it could be months away. We have no idea, but we do know that Australia is moving pretty quickly, especially on the digitized front of things. Me personally, as I really kind of look at everything that has been happening around CBDC initiatives, it just solidifies the fact that like DLT and blockchain is here to stay. We know that these digital assets will be huge in the future. This is why I stack a lot of these utility tokens. I even say it constantly, like, listen, value outside of CBDCs is the ledger itself. There's a lot happening on Hedera. There's a lot happening on the XRP ledger. There's a lot happening on Stellar. Focus on the big moves being made here. In my opinion, you can't go wrong stacking XRP, XLM, and HBAR. Of course, tying some QNT there, Casper, you name it. These are some great assets. Listen, focus on the utility tokens. Focus on what's actually happening. There's far too much competitiveness happening around this space. I always see it, I see it constantly saying, oh, well, if it's not XRP, I guess I have to sell and buy this token and buy that token. It's like, I just don't get it. We know that this is going to be an open initiative where we do need collaboration. Collaboration is going to be crucial. You need to focus heavy on the idea of complementing each other instead of being in competition with each other. This is also why I say like XLM and XRP, don't look at them as competitors. Look at them as complementary technology. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out, guys.